welcome back to my channel. I am Kaylin. This is Full Purpose and Heart. If you haven't watched me before, this is the beginning. I know it's January, but this is the beginning of Our Homeschool Life, a series. So once a month, for the rest of this year, I am going to kind of do a recap of things that we've done this month in our homeschool room, just kind of how we've experienced our curriculum, new things that I've started, because honestly, that's the story of life, is there's always something new going on. And then I'll just kind of give you a little recap of what content will be coming out for the coming month, kind of what I have planned, and give you an opportunity if you have some kind of content specifically that you want me to talk about. This is the video in the comment section below that you can put that suggestion so I can put it on the calendar for next month. So if any of that information interests you, then let's have a little chitty chat. Can you believe it's finally the end of January? So many times on social media, I see the meme that says, it's been 45 days, it's January 35th. And I literally feel like that. And maybe it's because November and December is just like a blitz of time and the holidays and everything goes so fast and you're so busy that January just drags on. And I have felt that. So it is nice that we're moving into February. So just what I want to just chat about are a couple of the things that I am using in my school right now that are kind of my favorite and are going really well, kind of where we're at with them, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so I just have a little pile here. It's not in any specific order. We're just having a conversation. So get a beverage that you love, start folding your laundry, do something productive while we chat here. So let's start with history. We are doing the Civil War, and I love teaching American history if you haven't caught that yet. But we are going really slow. So I really love this curriculum that I've picked and that we're doing. I'll do a review on it. I have found that not all history pockets are created equal. I've done many of them. This is an Evan Moore product. I've done lots of videos on them. They're these ones, okay? So they're not all, they're all really good, but I don't use everything in every single pocket. And so, and sometimes the pocket, though important to talk about, I have a hard time finding outside information or more whatevers that I can add into it. So it's been a little bit slow. When we hit the leaders, I did feel like it just was kind of lackluster. It was here's Abraham Lincoln, here's Jefferson Davis, and let's just talk about their facts. So it was kind of a struggle. And then I did end up, I went on YouTube because thank you for YouTube. I taught in the years before YouTube. So I do know how people did it before, but it was far more clunky than what we have today. Thank heavens for that. So anyway, I did go on YouTube and we went on a house tour. We did tons of house tours. So we went and saw all of Jefferson Davis's homes and the White Office, the White House of the South. And then we did go to see a bunch of stuff on Abraham Lincoln, his home, where his birth home was moved to, or a replica of it. And so anyway, and it really inspired me, and I want to take a road trip to Illinois this summer. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but anyway, so that was a little bit clunky, but then it kind of rounded out at the end. So if you are teaching and if you're using the Evan Moore History Pocket, that would be my recommendation for you, is when you do these pockets for Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis, and then you also do the Grant and Lee as well. They're these ones. We do General Grant and General Lee. I would recommend doing their homes. It's just fun. Now, I love touring old houses, whether they're of dignitaries or famous people or not. I just love old houses. So that's interesting to me. Maybe that wouldn't be interesting to you, but it did kind of bring these people to life and made it a little more interesting to kind of study about, as opposed to just making these little pockets, gluing the information and reading it and then moving on. So that's my suggestion for that. And then we started the major battles. And again, this has been another really slow kind of walk, but we made this. Here's how I made this pocket. So they recommend, I can't remember. The pages are different. So if you use Evan Moore, you're going to need to size this down if you choose to put it in one of these medical folders. And I've talked about this extensively in other videos. So if this is a new information for you, then I think you're going to want to listen to it. It's in the family school video. I'll put it in the link here up on the eye in the sky. Okay, so this is how I made this one. And I just had my kids pick the paper and then we tied it with little strings here. So now we have the Major Battles books. But I will say, like, these little pullouts, so cute, but I don't know what to write on here. So it's like who, what, where, when, and results. And I'm like, who? It's the North and the South, like, duh. What? It was a battle? Like, I haven't figured that out. And the book, excuse me, the book doesn't have an answer key. So at least not that I've seen. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. So for this one, we kind of tried to make it up. Excuse me. For Bull Run, we did try to make it up. So it's like where? In Virginia, when? 1861, July. But we didn't do the who. Anyway. And then we jumped on YouTube and watched a video on it. So in searching for this, again, 4 kids is your keywords. If you're new to the world of homeschooling and YouTube, just type in what you want. So this was Battle of Bull Run, and then just add 4 kids at the end. So today in school, when we get school started, we're going to do our next page, which is Gettysburg. And then Sherman's March to the Sea is the last one. So it only has the 4 battles, but I mean, if we're being honest, those are pretty much the 4 that I remember. I was a West Coast public school child. So in California, we learned all about the Wild West and the Oregon Trail and Gold Rush, and that was what we studied. When it came to the Civil War, I got like a couple of days a year. So anyway, that's where we are with this. It's going well. My goal, we'll just kind of tag all of these together. My goal in the month of February is to, I don't even know what the next pocket is. I think it might be women. I have 1 more of these folders left, so technically 2 more pockets. I think one of them is women and one might be outcome. Like, honestly, I can't even remember. So my goal is to finish the Civil War in the month of February. And I'm going to be honest, even saying that out loud, I'm like, we've been going so slow. But to be fair, were you even a part of my life at all last year? It took me literally the entire school year to do the Plymouth, like, I think it was the colonies or something like that, history pocket. It took me literally the whole year. So there were reasons behind that. If you were a part of my chapter of my side of the mountain, then you know. But anyway, my goal is to finish the Civil War here at the end of February. So stay tuned and we'll see if we actually get to that. So thumbs up, love that, moving right along. Okay, the next thing, let me look in my folder here. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I gotta go get it. Hold on. Okay, so something new. I know I'm literally sitting down to tell you this. Something new that we started just this last week is Mail Monday. I think I might have mentioned it in our morning basket video, which was just on Monday that was posted. And we started Mail Monday. This was something that I was inspired by the Waldock Way. And she had a couple of subscriptions. And so I just jumped into what she was doing. And then another company reached out to me called History by Mail. So I have 3 subscriptions now that I have coming to my house monthly. And we just kind of rotate through those. So we do Mail Monday. Well, we do it 3 times a month is the plan. So going into February will be much better with that. But 1 week we opened the science envelope, and then 1 week we opened the history envelopes, plural. I have 2 of them. And then the 3rd week we are going to write mail to mostly family, because it's family that live out of state. We may have friends potentially, but just kind of that opportunity to send mail to somebody. And February is great because there's Valentine's Day. So my kids are going to be sending Valentines to grandma and cousins and that sort of thing. So anyway, I was going to just show you really quick what's in it. So this one is Writings from the Wild. And I got the actual subscription. So they come monthly, and I think that there's 2 tiers, and I got the higher of the 2 tiers, okay? Because it came with more stuff. So, oh my gosh, we did it last week. I could not tell you enough good things about it. Immediately go to my description box, click on the link, or just type it in. It's not an affiliate at all. I just love it. And this is what you get. Okay, page number 1. The first thing that you get is this full 8.5 by 11 like newsletter written to you from the animal of the month. Can you die? It's so cute. So this month in January, it was the polar bear. Actually, this might have been December because I kind of collected them a little bit. We didn't start until January, so I have another one. But my suspicion, don't quote me on this, but my suspicion is that the company sends these based on like kind of seasonally, right? So we are in the months of winter and it's snowy and it's cold. So we talk about what the polar bear is doing and in the months when it's snowy and it's cold. We learned so much awesome. I mean, it was so cute. You talk about where they're from and they're hunting and he has a little baby. So we talk about how he grows and what he's going to grow into and their size. And look at the artwork. I love it. I love it. Immediately, you need to go and buy it. You also get a little sticker. This is like you can put on your water bottle or what have you, but we're actually going to start collecting these and put them, this was my daughter's idea, on our 3-tiered morning crate that I have, that little roller basket I showed you on Monday's video. And we're going to start collecting them and putting these stickers there. Isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, you also get this little like index, whatever, this like business card size thing. It has some fun polar bear backpacks on the back. You get a postcard. Hello, Mail Monday. So someone in our family is going to be able to fill out this postcard and just, send it in the mail. This is fantastic for my son because he loves drawing. And look, they have like, here's how you draw a polar bear. So it can be, and you could probably find more tutorial drawing videos on YouTube that could get you into this. You could watch more videos on YouTube. My daughter in our co-op had a teacher that just taught her about kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So this was printed here and she was like in cloud nine. She's like, oh my gosh, I learned that at co-op. So she thought that was fantastic. And then just some more sketchbook. Again, my son loves sketching and drawing. And so this was a really fun little like card that he got. Okay, so all of that is what came in my subscription box, okay? So you get the newsletter, the what is this called? The postcard, the drawing thing, the little whatever this is, and then the sticker, okay? So cute, totally worth it. I wish I had like a coupon code for you or something, but they're not that expensive. And if you have like subsidiary finances from the state or something like that, it's obviously non-denominational, it's not Christian, so they'll help cover the cost for that. So, okay, I have 2 more. This one is by the company History by Mail, and we haven't even opened this one yet. So I'm gonna open it really quick for you guys right now. This is the one that I'm going over with my kids today. So, and theirs I haven't had a chance to actually do, but just as like a quick, let me show you what they send. So these are going to be, this is a company and they actually, look in the description box below, you can click on it and check it out. But this is a company that's going to send you actual documents, what are they called? Primary sources that have been reproduced and they send them to you. So this is a letter from Annie Oakley, a transcript of a letter from Annie Oakley to President McKinley. So you have a short little letter here, nothing on the back, and then a much longer letter about Annie Oakley, a letter on April 5th. There's a few short paragraphs here about who she was, and then this is, it looks like a little, well, it looks like it's a history, but they're saying it's a letter from Annie Oakley. Oh no, this is the letter. This is gonna give you kind of like the background information from it. And then this, okay, so here's the actual letter. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this is just transcribed so that you can read it if you have a problem reading this. But look at how awesome that you have historical handwriting so you can kind of study how they wrote then and what that actually looks like. And you can try to have your kids read it, and then when they have a struggle, then you can go ahead and read the transcription. This is amazing. It is so cute. And then you have a third page here, and it's just going to say what's included in your thing. So this is actually a letter to me. It has my name on it. And then it says enclosed is what we have here. And then here's some other benefits that you enjoy. This was a company, actually, they reached out to me after seeing one of my YouTube videos. So I actually haven't subscribed to this one yet. They just sent it to me so that I can get an idea of what it is and add it to our Mail Monday. And I just think that the variety is where there is such a benefit. Okay, the last one that I'm gonna show you, since we're sitting here showing you, this is gonna be a long video. You know, the average YouTube, my average audience watches like 6 minutes. I'm already at about 15 minutes. So if you're still with me, I love it. Okay, this is the last one. I need to do a whole video talking about these, so we're gonna do that. Okay, I'll do another video. We'll save time. And I'll talk about all 3 of these in that video. So if you come along, then you'll know what that one's gonna be about. Okay, now the next one I wanna talk about, this one's been such a blessing to us this month. I've shown this many times. This was a resource that we've started using, and it talks about feelings, and it kind of goes in depth with feelings and how feelings are far more complex than just the opposite of happy is sad, or if you're feeling sad, then this is the only emotion that connects to that. So we've been talking about it, and this month I've talked about this curriculum a lot, so go back and watch the video, but this month we've been doing anxiety and what makes people feel anxious and what are some emotions connected to anxiousness. And I have one child in particular who's more prone to feeling anxiety than some of my other younger children. And it's been so empowering for him to be able to recognize. And then we started talking about like, what are your triggers? And we talked about that. And I used myself as an example. Like one of my anxiety triggers is parking. Like, if I'm going somewhere new, what's the parking going to be like? Especially if it's like a big event, like we're going to a convention or a concert or a play or something like that. Like if I haven't been there before and I don't know what the parking's going to look like, and I know there's going to be a lot of people there, then I'm like, oh, what's it going to be like? You know, like so we talked about what's a trigger for you? Being late. Okay, like if you're going to be late, now let's talk about how some ways that we can handle it. And obviously sometimes the triggers for anxiety are more complex than just your parking situation. But it's been so empowering for our kids, and this has been really empowering for me as a teacher and as a mom to be able to talk to them about their emotions and how they can deal with them, especially as my oldest child goes into his teenage years and is trying to navigate that fun whirlwind of hormones and friendships and everything. We're just really excited. This has been really helpful. And once again, this is how we kind of collect all of those papers. Most of the time, I just give them a piece of paper like this, and we just kind of create whatever the suggested work is for in here. And then occasionally I will copy and then we'll do it that way. But more often I've noticed that we just kind of talk about it and then I have my kids write it. But anytime we create, or I have some kind of like whatever, then we put it in this little presentation folder. And I've talked about this before, but I love that this comes off and on. So we just keep adding to it. And it's a really fast thing. So this has been like 2 thumbs up for this month, and I love it. Okay. The other one that I want to talk about is this is character qualities. I've talked about this so much and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's like we're just sitting around in my schoolroom and we're having a conversation. You wanted to know what's going on, so here we go. When I first started homeschooling, I didn't know what I was doing, let's be honest. But in the years that have followed, I've become more aware of the great blessing that comes from teaching my kids street smarts, if you will, right? Character being one of those. I don't know if they know much about pergolas or, perpendicular or whatever it is, like math terms or science terms or whatever it is. But pergola, I don't even think that's a science term. I think that that's like something you put in your backyard. Anyway, this has been a huge resource to me, and I've talked about it before. I bought it on Amazon. I'm not an affiliate in any way, but it's been a resource for me as a parent and as a teacher to teach my children things that are important in a way that I wouldn't consider. For example, last month we started honesty. Last month we started respect. And one of the things we talked about, you can see it right here, is ways that you can show respect in greeting people. And it's just been so empowering to introduce these topics to my kids about how you talk to all humans, whether they're adults or other children or kids younger than you, people that you don't know, like how you respect humanity. And so we just talked about like, what are some ways that we greet people and how is that showing respect? And it's just been fantastic. We also talked about other cultures, which is why I like the word kisses on here. We talked about like how in France they do air kisses. And then hug was another good one. We just talked about respecting people's boundaries, reading body language. How can you tell if someone doesn't want to hug you? We have members of our extended family that kind of display of affection is very uncomfortable for them. And so we talked about, well, how do you recognize that? And if someone invites you to hug them and you don't want to, what do you say? And likewise, if you want to hug someone, but you can tell they don't want it, what do you do about that? And these are conversations that would not happen in my classroom if I didn't have resources like this. And that kind of came to my mind this month. And I just feel satisfied about how life is going in that sense. Okay, quick review because I talked about this, but we finished Sophie Mouse. I will do a video in this coming month, in the month of February, talking about a review of the Sophie Mouse curriculum that is made by the Homemade School. This is a curriculum, if you follow the same people on social media that I do, then you know where I get all my stuff. But she was talking about it extensively, and I kind of was like, and then I just decided to jump in, and it has changed my world because this moved into this. This is our book study book. And if you follow the same people I do, or you are that person, then you know exactly where this came from. But I will do another video on this because this one's getting kind of long, talking more about our fiction book study. But we started with Sophie Mouse, and I'll just kind of whip this open. But we talked about character and character qualities and how authors present their characters and kind of teach us about them, if you will. And then we talked about cause and effect, and then we talked about theme. That was our introduction to book studies. And then we jumped into, and then story elements. This is a scarf. So we talked about story elements, title, author, character, problem, and solution is very basic, but that's where we started. Then we did Once Upon a Winter Day. This was just a picture book, junior picture book that I had in the stash that I had recently brought home from the library. So it wasn't even planned. It was like, I already have this one. And this was a very short, obviously it's a picture book, so it's a super short read, but we were able to kind of pull out some book studies. So we talked about how do we summarize fiction books. And in this resource that's from Teachers Pay Teachers, she kind of like discusses each of these pieces. So we kind of reviewed that. Then we talked about SWBTST, whatever. Again, here's another. We did cause and effect. Now, you may be asking, Kaylin, these are so cute. Where did you get them? And my answer is, I made them, of course. You're like, that isn't helpful. However, I do have a video, and it's been on my channel for a very long time. So my hair is completely different, and I'm in a different house, and everything is different. But it's called Lap Books. I think I called it Lap Books 101 and 102, like a college course would be. I think I was trying to be clever. Those were in the early days. Anyway, I think if I had titled them differently, they would be easier to find. Anyway, Lap Books 101 is going to be just an introduction to how to start a lap book. And then Lap Books 102 is how to make your own pockets like this. So it'll kind of show you. I still to this day use Microsoft PowerPoint. At the time when I filmed it, PowerPoint was like a part of my computer, and now Microsoft makes you pay an annual fee to have it, but it's worth it to me every single day of the week. I use it literally almost every day of my life, so I love it. Anyway, if you're curious how I created this, Eye in the Sky, pop that video up there and then give me a shout out if you watch it and you love it, okay? Now, going into the month of February, if you know, you already know we're going to do Heartwood Hotel because I watched your video, you know who you are. And if you follow the same people that I do, then you know exactly. But I set this up and we're starting it today for Heartwood Hotel. I'd never read the book before, so I quickly did a quick read over the weekend and then put together her book. So I will show you that as we go along. Stay tuned to our Homeschool Life series, and I will also do just kind of a spotlight, maybe. What do you want to call it, about this kind of situation for YouTube. I can't talk about this kind of stuff on Instagram because they don't give me enough time. I'm like, this has already been 25 minutes now, and here we are. So anyway, that's all to say, happy January. In the month of February, here at the very end, did you stick around this long? let me tell you what I have coming down the line for the month of February, so you just know what to expect. So I'm gonna, first of all, this month I'm going to give you a room tour and show you what my homeschool room looks like this year, and kind of give you some tips of how you can homeschool in a small space and how you can homeschool in an entire room, and just kind of some tips about that because we've been around the block a few times. Now, I will also in that video give you some real life footage of what it looks like pretty much every other day of the week, except for when I film that video. So we're gonna do that. I'm also gonna tell you how I like the rhythm of our homeschool day routine. That'll kind of give you an idea of how I just set up, how do we get through the curriculum that we do in the time that we do. So that hopefully will be helpful. I'm also gonna do a plan with me video just to show you how do I plan. You know, the week is over, we're stepping into a new week. How do I organize all of my kids' content? I do it very differently today than I did in years past. Though those years were helpful when my kids were small, now that we're kind of in these like middle, upper elementary grades, I just do it differently. And so I'll show you that. And then I'm going to do a lot of curriculum reviews of what my kids have been using. Specifically, I'll show you Happy Cheetah, I'll show you Sophie Mouse, I'll show you Lexia. I had some people asking me like, how was Lexia? Why aren't you using Lexia this year? So I'll talk to you about Lexia. I'm gonna do some of our spelling, like how we're approaching spelling. That Civil War packet, I'm gonna go really into depth about how we approached the Civil War and taught it, and all of the other stuff that I've added into the Civil War. So it's gonna be a full month. Now, I've been absent from YouTube for a hot minute. In the month of January, I posted 9 videos, which is like astonishing to me. So the month of February might be kind of heavy, but I want to say this here at the end of the video, because if you're still watching, then you're a real believer. You're a real fan. That not every month is going to be a 9 video a month. Okay. I do love talking about homeschool and creating it and getting it going, but not every video will be a 9 video month. So, I try to go for around 5 videos would be a healthy month. So that's what you can expect. Anything more than that is a bonus. So thanks so much for watching. If you've gone this far, I love it. I love having you here. I love your comments. If you have something that you want me to add to the schedule for the month of February, of some kind of content or topic you want me to share my insights on, I would love to hear it. That's what the comment section below is for, and we'll catch you in the next one.